So let's talk about Jupyter Notebooks. A Jupyter Notebook is an open source web application that enables you to write Python code and share your code and documents and visualize it and write so many wonderful things. And you can all do that in a web browser. So it enables you, it supports about more than 40 languages. You can write code in R, Scala, Julia, Python, and you can share the code. You can write live code, and you can perform a lot of operations. You can write tutorials. You can do many wonderful things with it. You can actually document the code as long as you go. So imagine that you have an interface which you can use to write a tutorial which consists a lot of explanation, and in the next block you have a code which you can execute at the same place. So it's basically used for prototyping and making demos. It's a wonderful choice for that. And programming language Python, the .py files are something you have to run in a local terminal or a shell, which is also a good example. But nowadays Jupyter Notebooks are used for doing presentations, for conducting experiments, and it is the most popular choice for data scientists nowadays. And you can all do that in a web browser. Like whenever you launch Jupyter Notebook, a tab opens in your web browser and you can use it to execute the code and save the notebook as well, share the notebook, and you can do many wonderful things with it. This is the interface for Jupyter Notebook. As you can see, there are a couple of options, and you can write code, and followed by the text, there is the code. So let's imagine that you want to perform a task and you are writing a demo or doing some experimentation. And for that experimentation, you need to explain the code as well. So what you do is you write some lines of text in one cell block, and in the next cell block, you write code for it. And in the same sequence, whenever you're running the presentation or showing your code to someone else, it becomes a lot easier to explain it with the text alongside with the code. It's quite readable and it's quite visually aesthetic. So that's why maybe people prefer it a lot. So a Jupyter Notebook consists of cell blocks. Each cell block can be used to write either text or code. So the question is, why do most people prefer Jupyter? Like I said, it supports a lot of languages, and rather than using the Python console, rather than using the IPython notebook or the Qt console, the thing is, whenever you're using a console, you have to first write the Python code, and then you have to execute it by line. And first you have to write the code and then execute it. You can't do it simultaneously. So there is some, you can say, the flow breaks. Whenever you're writing a code, your flow actually breaks when you're not using Jupyter Notebook. So that is one of the reasons for that. It supports a lot of programming languages as well. And so that's why it is the most popular choice. I would prefer that if you want to get into the field of data science, if you want to get good at it, this is an essential tool, a skill that you should learn of using this framework as well. Jupyter Notebook is like storytelling. Like I said before, whenever you are writing in experimenting or write a particular example or doing some experiments or showing off your code, it's like storytelling. It's like writing a tutorial. If you want to explain someone, rather than just giving them whole bunch of code of Python, they have to go through it and go through the comment section and read it, which is highly not really readable and it's not really visually aesthetic. You just give them the notebook, and it's like you are telling them the story of your work in the best way you can. There's a certain flow to it, and that flow is what makes it so wonderful.